I need an intro.
Just start the damn video!
Hey guys, what's going on? It's been quite a while since I've been on this channel to actually do a video. Lately, you've noticed that all I seem to do is a bunch of streaming stuff. And really, that comes down to it's easier for me right now. And part of it is how we get lost in things. Like, of course I have work, and work has been crazy, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon. I've been taking a lot of overtime, getting ready for the wedding and things of that nature. But, you know, I got to thinking a couple days ago, and this is a topic that I just wanted to come in here and I wanted to do real fast. I think that sometimes we need to slow down a little bit and get to it when we get to it. I think there's a big problem in terms of people like us, like collectors and gamers and things of that nature. There's so many comic book shows. There's so many hero movies. There's so much anime. There's so many games. There's so much manga. Like, I think that it's very easy, and comic books for that matter, and I think that it's very easy to get lost in the do it now idea. I think we need to start killing that off. There is literally so much out there that it is impossible to keep up with everything. And that's not a joke. It really is, especially once you move into the working world and you start doing a job. It is absolutely impossible to keep up with everything. And I think that what ends up happening is we get in this idea that we have to, like, especially if you have a friend group that's into certain things. Like, of course, if you know Fandom Night Productions, we are into a lot of things, and we're all into a lot of different things. And sometimes we can end up on the PlayStation party or something like that. We can end up talking, and everybody will be like, oh, did you see One Punch Man or whatever? I finished that anime and blah, blah, blah. And then you almost feel compelled, like you have to keep up. And it's not possible. It's just not. You can't be caught up with everything. And I think that in terms of how we get ourselves lost in what we're doing is like, for a long time, I would not buy a single thing to put on one of these shelves until I had finished something, to a point where I felt like I was finished. I wanted to finish games, I wanted to get somewhere, I wanted to complete some stuff, and then I wanted to move on. And somehow I fell into this trap, and that's exactly what it is. Like, I have a 47 book pull list on my comic books, but I still get manga from time to time. And manga is the only thing that I've been able to have this attitude with. I bought the 3 Genshiken books, the 3 Genshiken volumes. Technically, that's 9 books. And when I bought these, I said to myself, I'm going to read them. And this is about the only thing that I've been able to keep this mindset with, where I'm going to read all of these. Then I will track down more manga. But we don't do that sometimes with our video games. We don't do that with our movies. Oh my God, I didn't do that with my movies. I screwed up. I started viewing Netflix and I started viewing Hulu. And then I kept going to this place called Mega Replay, where I kept buying other stuff. And I literally have an entire movie shelf now. I sorted my stuff out. I have about 4 or 5 movie racks, and I have about 2 or 3 game racks. And what ended up happening was, when I started putting stuff together, I made a discovery. I said, man, it's been a long time since I've actually sat down and watched some physical movies. And so I started going through the shelves, and I pulled every single item that I had either not watched on Blu-ray, like on the 4K that I went and bought, or that I simply had not seen at all. And I filled an entire movie rack with just that stuff. And I said, this has to stop. This has to stop. I need to really think about this. So I've put myself on a spending hiatus where I'm still going to get my comic books when they come out. But just about everything else, like video games and anime and things of that nature, I am going to watch them when I get to them, read them when I get to them. I think that it's too easy to get into this mindset where you're trying to keep up and then you lose the enjoyability of what you're trying to do. Like the comic book shows are outrageous. There's so many of them now, and it's impossible. Like, I'm all caught up in Gotham. I can't even try. I keep trying Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it feels like I'm forcing myself because I'm a season and a half behind in Arrow. I'm an entire season behind in Supergirl. I'm an entire season behind. No, I'm half a season behind in Legends of Tomorrow. Like, and these are just a couple of the shows. I haven't even started Punisher yet. I haven't even started Punisher. I don't know a single thing about it. I've missed like 2 of the Marvel movies. I did not see the new Thor, and I did not see Black Panther. And then I also fell behind in my anime unreasonably, to a point where it's simply not possible to try to catch up and talk to people that are current. And I think that we get into this bad mindset where we're trying to always talk to people that are current. And I think that YouTube is part of this. YouTube has so many of these experts that are on here that are telling you comic book storylines. They're telling comic book storylines to tell you what's going on in the mangas. They tell you what's going on in the shows. They break down every little detail of something. Like, I think the Power Rangers show, the Super Sentai review that we do, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm a part of Fandom Night's Super Sentai. You can just look up Super Sentai on, or the Sentai Review. Sorry. Look up the Sentai Review on YouTube. You'll find us. That's what it is. But all we do is view the material and then go over it. Whether it be costumes, whether it be the robots, whether it be one thing or another, yada, yada, yada. And that show has helped to open my eyes a little bit, because we are going through the series and we're going through it at our own pace, as much as we can get done without trying to make ourselves tired of the material. And I think that's important. And I think that I need to start applying that mindset to everything. I need to play the games that I care to play as much as I care to play them, then move on. It's true that I go to Mega. There's this place called Mega Replay. And I go there, and they have crazy deals where they're just basically asking you to take their stuff. They're like, this is $10. And the movies and series are outrageous. Sometimes I've gotten full Blu-ray anime series, complete box sets for like $10 there. And almost every DVD is like $1. Blu-rays are like $3. I mean, that's awesome because you can get all this material, but then you have to find time to actually view that material, or all you're doing is wasting money. And let us be honest, in what we do, it is very, 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 very easy to waste money. We always want to buy like 6 or 7 or 8 games, and we want to get these books, and we want to see these storylines, we want to read these things, we want to watch these movies, we want to see this series, and we get ourselves lost in it, and then we drown ourselves in it to the point where there's a lot of people that burn out on it. I know guys that got into comic books that really enjoyed comic books, and then they took on too much, and that dropped them. And just to let you know, Pages of Fandom is coming back. It is going to be on YouTube, and it is going to play at, I think the first episode is going to be a midnight show. It's going to be live. It's going to be an hour long. And then I think we're going to try to work that into Friday mornings at like 8 in the morning, so 8 to 9. So that's going to be a thing. That aside, this is all I really wanted to come in here and say, is that I think that we need to start really thinking about working at our own pace, and in everything, in so many things when it comes to our fandom. So I have a huge list of stuff that I'm going to be talking about on this channel, and I just knocked one out So, yes. Look, guys, I think it's time that we really reconsider as collectors and as fans that we need to be careful not to fall into this trope. And I think it comes down to and I'm not trying to sound ridiculous here, but the corporate agenda is that they want you to spend, 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 spend. And it's never been like this. It's never been this big. It is so huge now. The stuff that we're into has never been like this. There's so much anime. And it's not anime like when I was a kid. And I'm sorry, old Bill Logan here going on a rant. When I was a kid, animes finished. They finished. There was only so many that were huge, huge, huge deals that were like run-on animes, and that was like Robotech was big, but it finished, and Gundam was big, but it finished. You would do 50 episodes of that era, and if you never wanted to watch another one, you didn't have to. And if you wanted to pick up another one later on, you didn't have to see the previous ones. You would be fine. And like Cowboy Bebop, that's like 25 episodes and it's done. Iggy Talsoon, that's like 13 episodes and it's done. And so many of these animes were like this. Gantz was just like 3 seasons and it was done. And I liked the fact that animes ended. You could watch Sorcerer Hunters, that's 50 episodes and it's done. You're all caught up. You can now go talk about it with people that have watched it. But nowadays, there's Naruto. It ran forever. There's Fairy Tail. It runs forever. They brought back Inuyasha, if I'm not mistaken. It ran forever. It's a forever anime now. They have that Boruto that's going to run forever. They have Bleach. It runs forever. There's always a new season, a new event, a new bad guy. Even Dragon Ball Z, which was like the biggest anime in the world for me at the time, came back, and now it's just going to keep going and going and going and going and going. Hell, even the last episode basically said, this is done until another bad guy shows up. So they said it right there. Don't think that's the end, because there's another Dragon Ball coming out, definitely, without any doubt whatsoever. There's going to be another one. And this is the way anime works now, and comic books are the same way. Comic books have been this way forever. They never end. It's hard to jump in, and you're never going to be done with it. You're never going to be finished and just get to talk the storyline or the events. Like, you can wait till one arc finishes and talk about that arc, but then if you do that, there's always some expert around the corner that knows everything there is to know, and he's going to tell you about the artist and the reason they went back to that, and what happened in this, and 17 years ago on this date and this issue, this thing happened, and that's why this can't happen. Oh my God! It has gotten to a point now where the fandoms that we are a part of are so big, and I think it's always been like this. It's just never been so available, and I think that adds to it. Not only do we deal with the fact that fan is a term of fanatic, and let's be honest, we all are in some way or another. There's things that we will paint with a broad stroke, and there's shit that we will not let go, and we fight over dumb stuff. Look, I run the Fandom network, okay? We're on Facebook. I see stupid arguments about stupid crap all the time. And then there's the argument over canon, especially for something like Star Wars or Star Trek. Listen, guys, to me, if Star Trek begins as a series, then anything that's put in cinematic format is truth. Anything else is just convenient extra fandom, but don't get too attached to it, because the series has the final say. And I believe that with things like Star Wars too. Once it is in a cinematic format, it is canon. Until then, all your books and all your comics and all your side stuff, it was cool, but it was never a guarantee. And I think that we have to keep things like this in mind, and we have to back off a little bit from time to time, because nowadays, while we all are fans and we all have things that we will defend and battles that we will rage, we have to understand that there's so much of it out there that you can drown in it very fast, and it's very easy to stun another person out of the fandom immediately. In fact, just a small thing, Scott did it to me. The guy on our podcast, Scott Action Jackson, he did it to me. And it was over something very simple, very easy. Look, I do not like He-Man. I'm not interested in He-Man. I don't care about He-Man. But I did find this redone series. I can't remember if it was in like 2000 or what. And it looked kind of interesting. And it started with the origin story of Skeletor and whatnot. And I watched the entire thing and I was like, I've never been a He-Man fan, but that was kind of nice. I actually enjoyed what I saw, and the universe is kind of crazy because I've never seen a universe before where like anything is acceptable. Like this guy has a sword and he's a barbarian dude, but that guy's got lasers and this is a spaceship and there's a dragon that this guy's riding and here's a battle cat and this dude's a cyborg. And all of this somehow fits in this ridiculous universe that they created where nothing is off limits. And I said, in a way that is kind of cool. I might watch this series. And then I discovered there was a toy line where they remastered the original series and released these toys that were really, really cool. And was I excited to get into all of the toys? No. But I was excited to get these two toys in particular. I wanted the two cats, the two battle cats, and I wanted Skeletor and He-Man because they looked unbelievable in this new toy sculpt. And I shared it on the network and said, I actually want these. This is the first time ever in my life that I want a He-Man toy. And he was like, oh, I've seen those. Those are from the so-and-so 2000 series. And I said, no, they're not, because I was watching the Toys That Made Us, and they said that this was from a remastered line of the original toys to bring it up to the original date. So it's original remasteries. And he got upset because there was one detail in the toy that wasn't original. And if they're going to call it original, they need to actually be original. And he threw this type of fan fit, which we all do. We all do it. So, I can't give him too much shit, but I will say that it was very negative to me because I even had where I was like I was on eBay and I had already put these two items in my cart and I wanted the Skeletor and He-Man. And then after talking on the Messenger for like 30 something texts back and forth where we were arguing over what we like and what we don't like and why I want the He-Man toys and why he's against it and why he doesn't think it's that great and different things like that, we finally ended up coming to a point where we just said, where I literally just took the items out of the cart and said, I don't even want them anymore. And I left He-Man completely behind to a point where from now on, I do not care about that fandom in any way because I was pushed out of it by the guy that was in the forefront that was a hardcore fan, and I was just trying to get in and work at my own pace. And now I don't want anything to do with any of it. I don't care at all. I don't want to be a part of it because it's very easy to be chased off by a single rabid fan. And this happens in Power Rangers. This happens in Super Sentai because you start talking about one thing that you see or you like or you believe, and then here comes the rabid master fan, and he wants to tell you why you're wrong and why this is this and how is this and all the production history, and I know this guy and I know this dude's name and I've met all the Rangers, and oh my God, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares how hardcore expert you are about anything for that matter. But YouTube has made this place where everybody is an expert and everybody's on top of it and everybody's up to date. And if you want to know what's going on, you just listen to me and I'm going to tell you everything that's going on. And some of these people that are not up to date, that have not caught up, that have not worked at their own pace to be a part of the material, they will take these guys at face value and just assume that everything these guys say is right. And we need to be careful about that, and we need to work at our own pace. We need to get there when we get there and discuss it after we have actually seen and understood the material. Because when you jump into these hardcore fan debates and you've either haven't seen it or all you're getting is secondhand information and you're going to argue on that level, you can become the super fan and push the guys out that actually want in. And believe it or not, this is a business. And unless they have the new people that give a shit about the material, that want to be a part of what is going on, then your whole system falls apart. Because I'm telling you right now, if Super Sentai needed new people to be into the fandom, or Power Rangers to be into the fandom to be able to push it forward, and you were the super fan that pushed those guys out, like, those guys are no longer there. Just like in comic books, this is a scary thing. If we are the super fans and we keep shitting on all the new material rather than giving it a chance and letting people kind of get into it and then saying, check this out, and not pushing it on them like a super fan, but actually allowing them to work at their own pace and kind of get into the material and care about it the way that you do and then be able to discuss it. If we just push it on them, or if we just shit on them because we're bigger fans than they are and we know this better than they do, well, then they don't support the industry because they don't care. And it's just like me with He-Man. As far as I'm concerned, that franchise can die now because I don't care about it. And without new people coming in, we get what happened with the Ninja Turtles. They say, nobody cares anymore. Why does nobody care? Well, this must not work. Redesign the whole fucking thing. And they put out what we're about to see with the new Ninja Turtles. Or they just kill it completely, because once it makes no money, these guys are corporate bigwigs and they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about the fandom. They don't care about the storylines. And this is true even for a lot of the actors that are involved with the material. Most of the time, they barely know the character they're playing. They have a general idea, and then they talk a big game. And then if you ever ask them about a storyline 2 years later when you meet them, they're like, I have no idea. I don't, or they say something like, I don't really watch the episodes, so I don't know, that's lost on me. Well, when you don't even support the stuff that you did yourself, this tells us it's a business and it's about making money. So we need to work at our own pace and enjoy the things we enjoy and get into it as we get into it, instead of falling into this grind of buy fast, watch as quick as you can, dedicate your life, become the super fan. So, Old Bill Logan rant complete. Sorry, I don't know how we ended up all the way over there. All I was trying to do was say we need to slow down and enjoy the things we enjoy. But, hey, decent conversation, and I guess I will leave you with that to ponder the things that I have bitched about, and I'm going to get out of here.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.